Good morning. Last morning here in Santorini. Just checked out of the hotel, which is a little early, but we're just gonna have them hold our bags until we have to get the taxi to the airport at like 3 o'clock. So I'm out for a walk. Kelly's hanging out at the pool. I'm gonna see what I can find. Kelly's happy I'm not gonna make her walk up any mountains this morning. All right, and just like that, hello from Turkey.
We made it to Izmir.
Yeah, so really excited to be here, and honestly, the hospitality, it could just be the Marriott, but the hospitality has been fantastic. Our driver was super friendly, happy to see us. The Marriott gave us a sweet upgrade. They've left nice stuff in the room. It's really just been outstanding. With that, we're probably gonna call it a night. It's been a long travel day. All right, so first day, we're out on the tour towards Ephesus. You can see the small little tour group that we have behind us. It's actually only like 7 people. Yeah, so our tour guide is awesome. This is the van that we're in, so super helpful. We stopped at a local little Turkish store to use the bathroom because he said that bathrooms at Ephesus are terrible, and they cost a lot of money. So awesome to stop here. Kelly actually got a little thing of perfume. It was like $14, $15. It's actually really nice. So yeah, we're off to a good day. It's been a very busy start to the day, but I'm sure it'll get better as we go. All right, so we made it here. Actually really cool. Everything is relatively still standing. And just some quick facts as we walk from one place to another. 4,000 years old. Founded pretty much by the Greeks as they were pushed out of their homelands by the Ionians. And this is the top of the city. We'll walk down the hill towards the water and the rest of the city. And essentially, I think it was 250,000 people lived here, which was by far the largest city in the world at the time. And malaria finished the city off. I think there were some silts that created a marsh between the ocean and the actual city. Malaria started, and essentially it was abandoned ever since. So now it's here to tour as one of the oldest cities in the world. So we're going to keep going. Super quick overview of what we learned about the city. We are up here, and this was the government section. Down here is the public section. They kind of divided it between rich, medium class, and poor. And actually, when the city started, the water used to be up here, and they actually dug the water down towards the city rather than moving the city towards the water. All right, so over here actually was a water reservoir. And so they had 3 aqueducts that came in that were as long as 50 kilometers long. And this was the water reservoir here. You can actually see the terracotta piping that they have on the ground here. We learned that there was also some lead piping that was used because it was the easiest material to shape, but the calcium and sulfur in the water actually coated the lead, so nobody got lead poisoning. But they had their main water source up here at the top of the hill. I think you can see down there towards the bottom is where some of the rest of the city is, so obviously water flows downhill. Up here where we're heading, you can see some of the columns. We learned that there were covered pathways because in the summer this is incredibly hot, so people would have liked to, definitely given this as the government sector, walk in the cooler parts of the shade. And now we're going to walk and see some of this first amphitheater area, which was, again, housed by the government and the senators.
there are certain spots that I say take a picture. I mean, I can help you that. Like the library, the theater, and there are certain places. Let's go. We can walk. Let's go. Orchestra. That means this theater was roofed. If you see a gutter like the big ones, you will see a big gutter. It wasn't roofed. They didn't have that kind of technology. Well, this was used by the Senate, as I said, but they do.
Once we exit the amphitheater, this is more government buildings, and you can really tell the difference in time here because of the different columns. So the Doric columns there on the leftmost of the shot are probably 4th century BC. The Ionians in the middle are roughly 50 years later is when they developed columns like that. And then here we can see some Corinthian columns that are probably around 3rd century BC. So really cool to see kind of the story of time as things were invented here in the government section of Ephesus. Again, some more telling of time through architecture. The wall here on the right of this pathway going down from the government sector to the public sector onto the right was 5th century, 4th century BC. And then over here on the left is roughly 2nd century AD, which is, you know, the heyday of the city when they had money and trade. So it's fun to be able to actually see the differences in time and how they were able to build things without actually losing the integrity. But also something that our guide mentioned is down here on the floor you can see these stripes, what look like stripes in the marble. It was actually cut there because with leather shoes, if this was wet, you would slide straight down the path. The shops continue on both sides of the street as we head down, and this is essentially what they would call as the Rodeo Drive of Ephesus, so to say. The main drag here that would take you from the top of the city down towards the public sectors. So this building here, there's a lot of people, so I'm staying a little bit back, but it was originally built by the Syrians for Hadrian, and it was supposed to be able to, to keep evil away was the original principle, but very rare building type for here in Ephesus and very well preserved. We're now in the main square of the city, and in front of me is obviously the very famous Ephesus Library, which was the largest and most prominent library in the world at the time. Very rare to have such a library just because that influenced education, which could then bring challenges to the emperor or rulers. But beautiful building that's been reconstructed. And then off to the right is where more of the city would be. Looking up at the hill here, you can see apartments, and then lastly the bathhouse that we were just in with that arched ceiling. So in the market here, this was the main market in town. If you weren't on Rodeo Drive, you shopped here, which had a nice big plaza inside of it and shops that surrounded all around. All right, well, we're almost at the end, I think, of our first stage of the Ephesus tour, 25 minutes or so from lunch. And the guide gave us some free time just to wander around and see things, take pictures as we wanted to. Two thoughts. One, there is no way I ever would have made it here without a tour. Two, I feel like I'd also would have done this in like 30 minutes if we didn't have a tour guide actually explaining the things to us. So money well spent, in my personal opinion. But had a really good time. It's really cool to see. It's definitely the most reconstructed, I think, ruins that we've seen of different historic cities.
Yeah, but it's helpful. And he said that it has to be, I think, 60% original materials to be able to be reconstructed here. So at least, most of the materials are original.
Yeah.
But definitely helpful to visualize what the city looked like.
Yeah, absolutely. And in front of us, kind of the last major, monument is the theater that's actually still in use. I guess like Sting, Elton John, a bunch of big artists have played here recently. And yeah, it would be really cool to see a concert here. I'm not sure how you would get out here or get back to Izmir late at night, but I'm sure there's things to do. But yeah, I think we're just gonna tour around just a little bit more before going to get lunch. I've heard our tour guide say it is an extremely authentic Turkish lunch. Good afternoon. We had a really nice lunch, kind of in a courtyard / backyard of this rug store. When we first walked in, I was originally highly skeptical of what was about to happen. Because we literally just walked in some rug store that was right outside of Ephesus. But lunch was really good. And it was really nice to sit in the little courtyard area.
Yeah, we had some bulgur rice and lamb meatballs, which were really good. Some tzatziki and a carrot and yogurt dip with some bread.
Yeah, and they had honestly some really good tomatoes and cucumbers, but reading what I had read about eating raw stuff, I got really hesitant. But so we ended up leaving that, but oh well. We just spent the last 15-20 minutes here at the house of the Virgin Mary, where she supposedly spent her last days. So a really special place. The majority of the building was actually built in 1951, but the foundations are still original from 1st century AD. So
yeah, really special place. Really cool to see. There's a spring with holy water there, so just washed our hands in the holy water, which was nice.
Yeah.
Quiet, solemn place, but really pretty shrine and cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't imagine a more beautiful spot. We're way up on this hill. I think that our guide said that we were 400 meters up.
Yeah.
So we're definitely up here. It's a beautiful, calm spot. And we're standing in what is the little cistern area where they would collect rainwater.
And to go back to the rug store really quickly, it was really cool to see. They showed us all how the rugs are made by hand even today, and just the amount of detail and work and effort that goes into each one was really, really interesting, really unique.
All right, so we made it back to the room after a very long but fun day. The tour was fantastic.
Turkey so far has been very surprising and very, very pleasant. So
yeah, everybody's been super hospitable around here. I don't know if that's just because we were on the tour, could be, but so far everybody's been super, super nice.
Yeah, everyone wants to serve you and help you and give you something, and it's very nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna go have some dinner. I'll probably take a few pictures of the pizza. With that, we will tour Izmir tomorrow.